We broke ground in 2021, the very end of 2021, so about 3 years. But we overcame some obstacles that maybe other developments haven't seen. We were kind of in the midst of COVID. We had to push pre-sales without being able to technically bring people into the room. A lot of people that weren't comfortable sitting close by, had to present with masks on for a lot of it. And so we overcame some obstacles. We had a great piece of technology on the front end called Immerza, a virtual walkthrough system, and that uses drone photography stitched into it. So we could do Zoom presentations without ever even having somebody step foot into the room.
Hello, you beautiful people. Welcome to Tampa Bay Unlocked, the podcast where we dive into the dynamic world of real estate and business in the vibrant Tampa Bay area. Join us as we sit down with top agents and industry leaders who share their insights, strategies, and stories of success. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, our interviews will unlock the secrets to thriving in one of Florida's hottest markets. Get ready to be inspired, informed, and motivated by the experts shaping the future of Tampa Bay. Tune in and let's unlock the wisdom from our next guests. I got two amazing ladies here. I got Bennett and Rachael Manzanares, part of the Reflection St. Pete sales team. An 88-unit new condo construction building here in downtown St. Pete that overlooks Mirror Lake. How was that introduction?
That was gorgeous. Yeah,
Great job.
Great job.
Welcome to the show, guys. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so excited. So where do we want to start? Let's think. Let's start with each one of you individually, how you got into real estate. Let's give it in a 45-second blip, and then we'll dive into the project and St. Pete and all that.
Okay.
Maybe 60 seconds each.
Okay.
Yes. Amber, you first.
Okay, 60 seconds.
How are you in real estate doing these amazing, cool things?
So, I got licensed in December of 2015. I've been with KW ever since. Before that, I was an assistant for a husband and wife team in South Carolina. They made it look easy. They had been licensed for 30 years. So I was like, I can do this. And then I did not realize that it was not easy. I'm glad I didn't. So here I am. It'll be 9 years in December. And that's kind of how I got started in real estate.
Okay. And you started with Reflection when?
I started in March as kind of like an admin role.
March of when?
2021.
Okay.
And then June as a sales associate.
Okay. Rachel?
Yes.
How do we get here?
Okay, I started in real estate in 2019. I got licensed. I joined John Whitner and Jake Woolman's team as a commercial agent. So I jumped right into real estate as a commercial agent, and I fell onto the Reflection project. Thank you.
Let's just pull it up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all right. There we go.
The Reflection project, we actually sold the parking lot that it was built on. So I got to work on the listing for that as one of my very first projects, doing the marketing material for it. And then we ended up consulting with the developers, and slowly I knew a lot about the project. We ended up deciding to put me on the sales team.
Got it. So you're a day oneer.
Day one. Yeah. Pretty cool.
Very, very cool. So for those who are not familiar, and maybe you each can give your own take on what the project means to you and what it is. For those who are not familiar with the Reflection project, what should they know about it? And whoever wants to go first.
Amber, you want to go first?
I would say that they should know it's the perfect addition to Mirror Lake, which was the first neighborhood for the city of St. Pete. So it was originally Reservoir Lake instead of Mirror Lake. So the first water source. And the neighborhood has the first high school, one of the first churches, the old mayor's home. So very historic. And then you have this 88-unit condo building, which perfectly blends in with the scenery, and it just adds new life to the community.
Yeah.
I just learned a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It is a very historic neighborhood, and I think Amber put it really well in that we're mid-rise. We're not a high-rise, right? So it's not too much for that historic neighborhood. It blends in really nicely. It's bringing a new vibrance to the city. We have a rooftop amenity deck. That's definitely something that sets us apart. So you're going to have amazing views no matter where you buy in the building. And we have some unique amenities in there as well. We have a golf cart shuttle for the building. So if you don't want to, walk to dinner and maybe you don't want to get in an Uber and drive home, you got a golf cart to pick you up and take you back. So
Valet.
Yeah. Your own personal Uber.
I like that. And let's talk about that rooftop deck, because that is a huge selling point.
Yeah, of
cool
course.
stuff happening up there.
Yeah.
And a staffed bar.
And a staffed bar.
Right. So like what, and so I think I'm always fascinated in the story and conception. So how involved were you guys in helping the developers come up with some of these things, if at all, right? Like input.
We were heavily involved, and that's what I like about working with these developers. They really allowed our input, let us bring our knowledge of the market to the project. The rooftop bar is something that we showed an outdoor bar in some of our very early presentations, and every person that sat at the table said, is there a bartender? Is this going to be staffed? And so really early on, we brought that to developers and said, hey, is this something that we can add into the amenities somehow? And they were really open-minded to it. And same thing with the golf cart. We originally had planned to use that golf cart to just show prospects the site once it was starting to be built. And we thought, okay, well then what do we do with the golf cart? And so again, they allowed us to kind of run with that, and this could be a really cool amenity for the building. So they took a lot from us, which is nice.
Yeah.
And I also want to add that 4 out of our 5 developers are local, either born and raised or they have been living here for decades already. So I think that really adds to the flavor of the project. It's not somebody in a different city who just looks at pen and paper and says, okay, this could be cool here. They actually know St. Pete and live here themselves, and a couple of them will be living in the building.
Oh, that's incredible. I think that's really important to be intertwined with the city, because St. Pete's so special. There's so many cultures. There's so many little niches and things that you need to know, and the vibe and how to blend in. And so people love to keep things local and love to know that there's a local presence attached to projects. So to know that that is 3 out of 4, those are good odds.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I would add to that, too. We have a mural that's going to be going on the exterior part of the building. That'll be part of the Shine Mural Festival this year. And that is something that we did.
That's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Huge.
Big deal.
Yeah.
It's a huge mural. It wraps the west side of the building. We're the 10-year anniversary sponsor. Reflection, the development, is a 10-year anniversary sponsor for Shine. And this is something that the developers decided to do and sponsor because of their love of the arts and the culture that St. Pete represents with that. It was not part of their development requirement met. They chose to do that outside of it. So they do care about, the culture that we have here in the city and how to give back to things like the arts community.
Love the mural thing. Did you know there's over 600 murals in St. Pete?
No, that's a lot. I did not know it was that big of a number, yeah.
Yes. I've had the pleasure of interviewing 2 different muralists that have done stuff. And so through my research, found that out. I thought maybe, 400 max. Yeah. Then 600.
Didn't know.
And now you guys are adding another.
Yeah,
a nice big one. Yeah. And I'm grateful. Thanks to you guys, I've had the privilege to walk the building when it was all concrete and not much going on. I think we were just above the parking garage. And now recently, just a few weeks ago, you guys invited us in and got to see what floor plan did we walk? The one where I was like, wow.
Lapis, 10th floor Lapis, so 1005.
1005. Let me tell you, folks. This unit is so beautiful. I mean, you walk in and the views of Vermeer Lake and having all of downtown in the background, really special. Like the foresight to see that this would be a good location for this project and the view that those units would have, nailed it.
Yeah, they did a good job with it. And it's off the beaten path a little bit, just a couple blocks off of Central. It's hard to imagine that the views would be that fantastic, but you said it well. As soon as you walk in, it's a wow factor. It really is, yeah.
I fell in love immediately. I mean, I think the finishes were nice. Everything was really good. Layout of the corner of the balcony. It was very well done. Very, very excited for all that. So what else? I know, and this is how many years in the making from
Well, technically about 4, at least from my involvement, from very early on, listing the parking lot and bringing in the developers. We broke ground in 2021, the very end of 2021, so about 3 years. But we overcame some obstacles that maybe other developments haven't seen. We were kind of in the midst of COVID. We had to push pre-sales without being able to technically bring people into the room. A lot of people that weren't comfortable sitting close by, had to present with masks on for a lot of it. And so we overcame some obstacles. We had a great piece of technology on the front end called Immersa, a virtual walkthrough system, and that uses drone photography stitched into it. So we could do Zoom presentations without ever even having somebody step foot into the room, and that helped a ton. And we saw a massive market shift during that time, right? Nobody knew it was going to happen. It was kind of crazy. And so really being able to do well in that market, it was difficult initially, and we did a good job of it. also say we overcame massive increases on material costs, on lead time to get material. And so our developers did a really good job of consulting heavily with CAST on the front end to make sure that once we saw obstacles like that, we could move past them. So
yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of learning and things overcoming that. Amber, what's something you could say from when you started this project to now, one of the biggest learnings you got from being a part of a new development project?
Ooh, let's see. I would say how different it is from the regular resale purchase of a home, like a single family home. It's a different contract. Most of the builders and general contractors have their own contract. It's not a FAR bar or a standard contract. So really reading through that and knowing what all is involved, different addenda as well. I'd say that's probably the main difference. Knowing your contract and then knowing the timeline. It's a very different timeline from a single family home or even a resale condo.
Yeah, and so as a buyer coming in, there's a lot of faith in the developer and your presentation and renderings of all that of getting into something that hasn't even broken ground. Yep. So what was that like selling the project early on when there's still just an empty lot?
You learn a lot about different personality types. I know we were talking about the DISC assessment yesterday in ALC, but there's different clientele that buy at the beginning of a project. There's different clientele that buy in the middle, and then there's different clientele that buy at the end. So the people who buy in the beginning, they just need facts, numbers. They don't need to see, touch, feel, or anything. They have a general idea of the market and kind of an idea of what appreciation might be. And they tend to be your investors, people who've bought multifamily before, or people who are buying for appreciation. People in the middle don't necessarily want to be kind of the testers that you see in the beginning, but they also don't need to have an emotional tie to the project. And then there are some who are buying now who need to see and touch and feel all the different finishes and fixtures, and they're a bit more hands-on. So just the different personalities you meet along the way.
That is something I never would have thought. You broke that down really nicely to think of that journey that you guys have gone on, even with the customer type that you're working with, and now having a finished product to walk through. A lot more emotions involved.
Yeah. She's definitely spot on with that. And a lot of people that buy early, maybe they lived in condo previously, so they know the process, they understand it well. We have some buyers that never lived in condos previously and bought early enough, and I think it shows that our team did a really good job at giving them faith in what they're going to get as a finished product at the end, and that the appreciation will be there. Just hang on for it. So,
what kind of feedback are you hearing now from people now that they've been able to, a few people? How many closings have we had now as of this date? Today is when we're recording this. It's Wednesday, August 21st, 2024, and we've had how many closings?
13, but we have a lot lined up in the next few weeks. It's about to snowball into. There are 69 contracts in the building right now that will all close.
So not even those that just closed, but just in general, now that the people are able to smell it, walk it, feel it, all that good stuff, what's the feedback we're getting?
I think a lot of it is it's better in person. It's
Yes.
so much better than what we thought it was going to be. Like you said, the wow factor. You've seen our presentation in the past, and being able to walk in and really see the view in person, it's so much better in person. So a lot of them are really excited.
Yeah.
They're happy about it.
Yeah. That, and we're a lot closer to the water than people think. So even in Immersa, it's a great system, but nothing compares to actually being in the building. So people are like, I can actually see Tampa. I can see the water, and it's so much closer, and the views are better, even from directions that people didn't think they'd get a water view. They get a water view. We don't sell it as a water view, but it is a water view. So.
Right. Yeah, we'll say water view, even if there's a sliver. You
That's
gotta
right.
bend your head a little
Right,
bit.
exactly.
Look out, right?
Over.
Yeah, close one eye.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you got it, right? Water view.
Exactly. There's not a bad view in our building.
No, there's not. No, but realtor hack, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If you get your binoculars and you look real far.
It's there, I promise.
Yeah. And that's why we don't tell them.
No.
So then when they do get to see it, they're like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. What? So what's next? I mean, now you have how many units left?
19.
19. So we're almost there.
Almost there.
I mean, is this a bittersweet? You guys and the team have been working on this for a long time, and now you're starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There's a couple floor plans. So we have 8 different floor plans. It's a vertical stack building, so it's the same 8 units on the floor all the way up from 7 to 17. And we now have sold so well that, some of them we only have 1 left. So, for example, our Opal floor plan, we only have the penthouse left on that one. Everything else of that floor plan is sold. So now's a really good time to get in if you want some option in layouts and price points with those 19 units that we have left. I think now let's start hosting some open houses. Let's get people through the door. Let's start walking people through the building and allowing them to see it in person and push sales to close out the rest of the building.
Yeah.
No.
I like that. Anything to add to that, Amber?
It's an interesting point because now we're closing out the existing contracts. And like she mentioned, we have 69 under contract or sold. 13 or 14 of those have actually closed. So it's an interesting stage where you're handling existing contracts and then still trying to get those 19 others through and give people who've already moved in their space and their home, but also get potential buyers in. So it's an interesting point in the project. But yeah, there's definitely light at the end of the tunnel. Everybody's excited so far.
It is a balance. And when you work with clients for as long as we have, some of them that have signed, from day one, you still have a really strong relationship with them. So we're not fully handing them off and saying, see you later. A lot of them, they're going to be clients for life now. So we've worked with them long enough.
Yeah.
So it's getting to see them enjoy it and still helping bring new ones.
It's got to be cool to see.
Yeah,
right? Especially
sure.
those early ones that signed 3 years ago when there was, not even a shovel in the ground. And now here they are walking in. What a sweet moment. One thing we didn't touch on, I just realized is, what does this bad boy cost?
Of course.
What's our range in price?
So right now with existing inventory, we're at $849,500 and we'll probably top out around 2.5. And the $849,500 will get you a 1-bedroom, 1.5 bath with a den, just under 1,200 square feet. South-facing view, that's the court's floor plan, so you will get water views. And then our largest is just under 2,300 square feet, 2 beds, 2 baths with the den. We do have a 3, 2.5. It's just not our largest.
And so how does that compare to the rest of St. Pete, downtown, when it comes to the condo market?
We're about probably 15% below existing new construction inventory right now, or pre-construction inventory. Our pricing is
Competitive.
Fantastic right now. We're probably going to see that go up as we can start bringing people through. Right. Now that people can really see there's a value to it, we expect we're going to have a grand opening sometime soon, and I think around that timeline, the developers are going to start bumping prices a little bit. So it's definitely competitive, and our finishes are competitive as well. So it's
agree.
Worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good to compare, and it's fun to watch. I mean, all the new construction going on in general, and especially as buildings are being finished and starting to really picture, okay, there's 88 more units that are going to be there. That's 88 homes in one concentrated area. And there's 300 over here. There's 200 over here. I mean, just watching downtown evolve it's kind of mind-blowing, right? Because it's happening really fast.
Yeah.
And so you're like, well, okay, well, that was in 3-4 years. What's the next 3 or 4 years look like? Yeah. Do you think there's more room in downtown St. Pete for more projects?
I think so, yeah.
There is, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you go vertical, and we have a lot of infill because that's pretty much all we can do with the peninsula. But especially as you go along this band along the central corridor.
Moving west, yeah. There's definitely
Are there
stuff
any
moving west.
extreme benefits to getting into a new construction project compared to existing inventory in the condo market that you guys see?
So there's definitely some advantages to it. You know that everything is going to be built to code, and we've seen some of the changes in condo laws recently and the increases. So that's definitely one of the benefits. You know everything's up to code and newer, and you get your 1 to 3 year warranty on certain items. And then also knowing that you won't have any milestone reports due for a while. So I think that's a benefit. Getting in earlier, you do tend to get better pricing than you would later on. But with resale, again, for those people who need to touch and feel and see things, you're going to have to be patient with new construction. Everybody's trying to meet their deadlines. There's no incentive for the developers to be late, but sometimes things happen. There are storms, there's electrical things, so you never know.
Yeah, I would add to that and say some of the older condo buildings, they've had to go through these milestones, and now you're seeing assessments, right? And so any of the listings that you're going to potentially see in that building could come with assessments on top of whatever the purchase price is. So coming into new construction, you can avoid that. And some of them, you don't know how well the assessment's going to go. How, what is that work being done? Is it going to be done well? Is it going to have to, we're going to have to add more to the budget for that? So you have some really good peace of mind with new construction, especially in this building.
Where I was kind of hoping you guys would go and navigate is the condos. Older buildings have become so expensive to live in because of increase in HOAs, up 30%, sometimes more.
Right.
People on fixed incomes or whatever living in that. So the condo market in St. Pete has been a little bit different. And however, I think there's a subsector in that of being new construction condos, right? Because to all the points that you made, Amber, and everything, milestones are done, everything's taken care of, everything's up to code, so you don't have to worry about those dramatic increases in HOAs from a crazy inspection to go wrong. So I just wanted to highlight that because I think that's super important, especially as people are watching inventory go up on the condo market, right? Yeah. It's totally different than...
Yeah. It's like a tale of two cities with some of the older buildings and the newer buildings. It's two very different markets.
Yeah. It's wild. It's cool. And, for any agents listening that are not from, moving here from an area, I talk with a lot of agents that are coming from Iowa or wherever. I feel like that was the most recent person I talked to. There's no condo market.
Right.
So it's a whole new thing.
Understand it,
yeah, it's a whole new thing to learn, and to be educated on it is super, super important. Awesome. So what else? So what makes that location? I mean, we kind of talked about the history on that, but it is just a few blocks off from Central, and there's some cool things happening about there. But for you guys, what do you like? How do you like to spend your time downtown?
I love to highlight that during our presentations. As a local, as much as I love being on Beach Drive, I spend most of my time Edge District, Grand Central District, Warehouse Arts District. So, stopping in at Intermezzo, right off of Central and 10th, or a Cellar Master, which is just a block behind that. That's generally where I'm going to spend my time. And so our building sits off of 8th Street, and we're kind of perfectly placed for everything that sits downtown. So it's a quick 15-minute walk to the start of the pier if you go east, but it's a quick 15-minute walk out toward Tropicana Field as well. So you're kind of right in the heart of it. You don't have to be on one side or the other. And as downtown shifts west, there's a lot more coming there. The Moxie just had their grand opening, great new hotel. I believe there's going to be another multifamily project going up right there, one under construction now. And obviously, the Tropicana redevelopment, there's a ton happening there. So our proximity to that is nice.
That's a really good point. Tropicana, I mean, that's a whole another beast of a project that's going to add value as that starts.
We'll be able to see that from the rooftop and kind of watch it happen. So.
Yes. Has that been a selling factor at all to know that development, as you found out more about that project, that it was going to... I mean, I'm thinking from a appreciation standpoint.
Yeah, I would say so.
I think so. The city is expanding west, and I'm going to say it's getting newer as you go west. And a lot more of the things that people in our age range want to do are going to be that direction, and the newer construction is going to be that way. So some of our first closings or first buyers said they felt like they were kind of pioneering heading west, but pretty soon that won't be the case. It'll just be that will be the new core of what to do.
I really think so too. I think that's going to be right the center part of.
How excited are the people that were early adopters before a shovel went in the ground to see how much equity that they're sitting on?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy for some of them. So it made me feel like I got to buy pre-construction. The next project, that's what I'll be doing because
not only did they buy pre-construction, they bought in the heat of COVID as things were just.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep.
So I mean,
there's good equity for several people.
I bet they're sitting pretty.
And we have a lot of people that are primary homeowners in the building. They want to see this as, this is their community, this is their home, this is where they're going to be full time. So there's not going to be a bunch of turnover on that necessarily, but a lot of them are really excited about the fact that they bought at a good time.
Absolutely. I mean, why wouldn't you, right? Yeah. Even if you are staying, it's good to have that. Just because I know we can dovetail back to this and cut it up. I want to go back because I just got excited, maybe because I'm still a little hungry and ready for a drink. Thinking about the bar upstairs.
I was gonna say rooftop in general. We didn't talk about it all the way.
Let's get into it a little bit more. So what's all up on the rooftop?
So it's a 12,000 square foot rooftop amenity deck. You've got a pool, hot tub, gym facility.
The gym's up there.
The gym's up there. It's almost 2,000 square
Gym's
feet.
got views.
Gym's got 3 full walls of
walls.
glass.
Oh,
facing east.
man.
Yeah, it's a stunning view from up there. So you're about 220 feet in the air at that gym level, and it's a great view out to the bay. You have a sauna just outside of the gym, which is great. A couple outdoor showers out there, that covered deck bar with retractable sunshades. You've got a community room, a catering kitchen, a grilling station. I mean,
I'm being sold right now.
anything you could want in an amenity deck, we've got it. We've got it. So
I love that. I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
that. Amber, what's your favorite feature on upstairs on the deck?
Of course, the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely the gym, because you can work out and it feels like you're outdoors, but you have AC. You get a
Right.
great view. Second to that, I would probably say the pool.
Yeah, that's gonna be neat.
Amber consulted on the gym equipment. So this girl,
Yes.
I mean, you can
Yeah,
see
you
her
can see the
arms.
gun.
You
She-
see the
she's
gun?
not-
They brought the gun
Yeah,
show.
had to
Watch
bring the gun
out!
show.
Watch out!
She's
Watch
not
out! We didn't have
new
any
to the
metal
gym
detectors
space.
before to come in here.
She's not new to the gym world, and she was able, again, we worked with the developers on a lot of things on the front end, and so we got to help kind of give some guidance on what kind of equipment they should include up there. And so it's going to be a very, very nice gym.
I'm excited to
thanks
see
this
that.
girl.
I'm very excited to see that. So let's go back to the bar, because having a staffed bar at a condo building, is anyone else doing that?
I know in other markets, I've seen it in Atlanta, New
Yeah.
York, like those kind of.
But not in St. Pete.
Not in St. Pete. Yeah.
The
it's something
first.
special. Yeah.
So how's that going to work? What's the time on that?
Right now we have Thursday through Sunday spec'd out. And again, we have a catering kitchen on the back of the roof. So there's commercial grade equipment up there, like your ice machine, refrigeration, dishwashers, that kind of stuff is all kind of hidden up there so it can service that bar, and some built into the bar space outside. But right now that's what we're offering Thursday through Sunday. Yeah. So
What a
kinda neat.
vibe.
I know.
It's like a private lounge for the residents.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right?
You don't need to even leave the building. You can go
Yeah.
upstairs, order a glass of wine, and we're going to work to maybe get some small bites included. Maybe not a full menu,
Yeah.
but some pre-made stuff. So, have a little charcuterie, enjoy the sunset.
Yeah.
Very, very neat. I'm just thinking of how exclusive that is, right?
And it is-
That's a good word to say, because
Exactly.
it's not going to be open to the public. Like, we do plan on having kind of a pop-up bar with some local restaurateurs, but it's not going to be open to the public. It's going to be our residents and their guests.
Is there a rule to how many guests you can have?
I don't
Right
think
now, I
that's
don't
written into the
think
condo
so.
docs at this moment.
Yeah.
Brian's like, who do
Ask
I
for
know?
forgiveness.
Wait a minute. I'm planning a party.
We
Hold
got
on.
a lot of guest parking in this
just
building.
saying.
That sets us apart,
Yeah.
too.
So that's just for the building? It's not going to be open for public parking?
Technically, it has to be open for the retail spaces down
Yep.
below. That's part of the code requirement. So I think 2 of them met our code requirement for the retail spaces. But yeah, we have 16 guest parking spaces in the building, which is a lot for a condo building our size.
Okay. And commercial space downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any talks or plans that we can speak of what may go there?
There's whispers right now, but
But
I don't
nothing we
think we
can-
can say anything
Okay.
yet.
But how many
but
spaces available?
2.
2. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So some cool stuff could go in there.
Yeah.
Some
So
cool stuff. We have our preferences for what we think should go there. One is about 750 square feet or so on 8th Street North, and then the other larger space is about 1750 square feet on 3rd Avenue North. And we think they would be great for like a wine bar or charcuterie, small bites type place, cafe. So possibilities are endless, but
we've
that's
had a
kinda
lot
what
of
we do.
interest. I
I
took
bet.
a phone call actually in the lobby right before we came here. In
For
regards to
someone
this.
that's interested. So they're still available?
Yep, they're still available right now.
Okay.
Developers are being picky about what goes in there. So,
Well, when you have options, you can be, right?
yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's good. That means you get to pick the best, because that does change that
Neighborhood.
neighborhood, right? Of
Yes.
what goes in there. That adds a whole vibe. People move to areas based off of that, so that's cool.
I feel like we have a lot of residential density coming into that neighborhood. Obviously we're adding 88 homes, like you said, right here in a small space, but we've had multiple townhome projects that have been completed, even kind of in the midst of us finishing. So a lot of new residential coming to the walking space around the lake. So having some retail to, feed that is kind of nice.
Absolutely. Do the developers plan to do another project?
They have a couple in the works currently.
Yeah.
Condo, not as of right now, but they do a little bit of everything. I know they have completed some townhome projects while we've been finishing Reflection, but they do workforce housing and affordable housing. They've got a couple apartment projects that they're working on. So they're active in the community. They're not just feeding the luxury side. I love that they're working to also see the need for affordable housing in St. Pete. And so they've got their eyes on, all of it.
Kim, did I miss anything? I don't know any. Kim's in the background. She's a part of the sales team. We didn't have another mic for her. All right. Okay, I'm just checking on you back there. I want to make sure. If I'm an agent right now, there's some incentives.
There is, yes.
Tell me about those.
I love this. Okay, so in our building, we're offering what we call the 3-4-5 program. So your first contract, you're getting paid 3%. Your second contract in the building, you're getting paid 4%. And a third and past that for the life of the project is 5%. So we do have some agents that have sold more than one in the building, and they're getting a great benefit for that. So bring some buyers. Bring some buyers. Yeah.
And speaking of agents, we also have a lot of agents who have bought in the building as well. I think we're around 15%.
Yeah,
or so for
just over that. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so just over 15% of our buyers are realtors as well, which I think is a great testament to the quality of the project, that the real estate professionals who know where they could buy and could buy anywhere are choosing to buy here.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
That's good.
Really
that's
good
a good
point.
selling point.
It is.
It's a good selling point. What else could you tell an agent? Would you give them some fuel? If I have someone, hey, they want to get into a condo, but they're looking at all the options. Sell. I mean, I'm giving you each here. Sell it. I mean, we've been selling it this whole time, but
right, of course.
what's the?
I mean, our amenities are above all the rest. Our golf cart shuttle, our rooftop amenity decks with the bar. We're doing things like Remy Halo air filtration systems inside of every single unit. That's not something you're going to see in any other project in St. Pete.
What does that mean?
It's a medical grade air scrubber. It goes into the plenum of the air handler and essentially scrubs the air. So they use them in hospitals. Again, we launched kind of in the midst of COVID, and people were concerned about shared air in a building at that time. So our developers decided, what can we do to fight against that? And so great for things like viruses, but great for pet allergies and seasonal allergies and cooking smells. Every single home got one of those as a standard. We have a full building water softener. Hard water in Florida. That just is what it is. You won't find that in every building. A lot of existing condos, you'll see people take closet space and add a softener there. And so it's just, you're losing storage by doing that. This entire building is water softened. So there's a lot of things that set us apart from some of the others. And even our base finishes, they went above and beyond. So in a base finish package within the building, you're getting cabinet panel ready Bosch appliances with induction cooktop, double waterfall edge on your island, under cabinet lighting. You get a lot of nice upgrades in this building that are built into the finish. So you know that the entire building is finished out really nicely.
Amber, did she miss anything?
I don't think she missed anything. I just want to add that we also have 2 parking spaces for our 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom homes. Right now, downtown, even some of the bigger buildings are only offering 1, and then you have to pay $40,000 to $50,000 to get a second parking space. So if you have this 3,000 plus square foot condo and you get 1 parking space,
that's a boat slip.
Exactly, right? Exactly. Yeah. So you're getting, in addition to all of the guest parking that we have, you also have 2 parking spaces in our 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom. And then you also get your storage unit also included. So like she mentioned, there are so many upgrades that our developers included already in the price, like den doors. Apparently, dens don't come with doors in downtown St. Pete as a standard, and then it's an upgrade to add doors to your den. We went with doors as a standard, and then pocket doors wherever possible to conserve space. 10-foot ceilings in most of our homes. Some of them have 11-foot ceilings. So
Yeah, on the upper floors, yeah.
It's like you guys are selling these things or something.
Oh my gosh, I know. So we brought a contract, right? The line where you sign.
I love it. I love it. You can tell you guys have been with this project for a while. The depth of your knowledge is ever ending, and I'm sure I'm forgetting questions because you guys, and there's nothing I can throw at you that you don't know. It was funny. Amber texted me yesterday, anything I can do to prepare. And then in the sales meeting, someone asked a question and her rattled out all these numbers. I was like, I think you're fine. So appreciate you guys so much. I ask every guest, doesn't matter what show we're on, I need to know, if it's your birthday, we're downtown St. Pete, where are we going to eat?
Ooh. Go first.
I'm going to Mangosteen.
Mangosteen. Yeah. Love Mangosteen. Okay. Where are we going, Rachel?
Brick and mortar.
Brick and mortar.
Best burger in town.
Yes.
Best burger in town.
Yes. 2 great spots. Love that.
Yeah.
Now, Amber, you're going to Rococo. Kim's going to Rococo in the back. Kim in the back says she's going to Rococo. Yeah, don't forget. I love that. For the real dedicated people that are still with us listening right now, what's one word they should comment below?
Reflection St. Pete. Can you make it all one in a hashtag?
Sure.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I like that.
Say appointment.
Appointment. Oh. I say, how can we make that two things in one? I don't know. Either or. Appointment or Reflection St. Pete.
We'll find you.
We'll know you're here. Where can they find out more information?
Go ahead.
Yep. So our website, reflectionstpete.com. We also have an Instagram, also Reflection St. Pete.
Yeah. Check it out. The website's beautiful.
Website,
by the way.
Instagram, go check it out. Reach out to these two or three. The whole team, they're incredible. They all are incredibly knowledgeable, and they almost just sold me a condo. Appreciate all of you guys. Thank you. Appreciate all of you. Like, subscribe, share with a friend, tell an agent about this. There's so much knowledge being dropped on here, and we get to learn about great new projects like Reflections. Amber, Rachel, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Got too excited. See you on the next one. Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right. Good job.